There are a couple of ways that you can see if your computer has been hacked. Of course, you can do it manually. Then you go to the control, no, the options. So you press the option key and then you go to the library, and then you can see the launch engines. And when something is suspicious or something is wrong, then you can stop them from running. And once you stop them from running, then you can delete them. So that's the first thing that you have to do. You have to stop them from running. Otherwise, when you restart your computer, then the possibility that they are there again is very, very high. But of course, you can also search for the users, and if there is a user that you don't know who it is, then you can delete them as well. I'm not going to discover this in this tutorial, but we're going to more extensions on the internet. So you can use DuckDuckGo, and when you want to use DuckDuckGo, then you are anonymous on the websites. Well, a kind of, but you must be aware that you also install the Chrome extension. Now I'm not logged in now, but usually you have to use the Chrome extension. Otherwise it won't work. Then they still see your IP address and your country in every detail. So when you go into another website, then you see the advertising that you have searched for, and then all those advertising will come in again and again and again, and you get crazy. And another one is, for example, Logi. And Logi, you can also hide the computer identity. So every computer has a serial number and a specific identity for the computer. You can hide it as well with that tool. And it's also very handy. I will check that out as well as was you, and also an AppSumo deal on this moment. And of course you can check your website and then see if something is wrong, and you can use the Google Safe Browsing tool, and then you insert here and you say, well, the website is well, let's see if AppSumo is safe, and I think so. Yes, it's safe. So when you insert your own website and it's red, then it's a big red flag and something is terribly wrong and you have to fix it. Another thing that you can do is, have I been pwned, is check your email address. So when you go to this website and you, for example, you say info.test.com, now this is a red flag because everybody uses it, and pwned. Now don't panic when you have been pwned, because almost every email address is pwned, and that's the reason why you don't have to, when you don't can use info at, because it's like a cookie for hackers. And of course you can also make alias, and that I also already made a tutorial. If you're using simple login, for example, then you can make an alias. When you want to know how you can do that, watch the other tutorial about aliens. And then you have the extension, the Chrome extension, Guardio. Now Guardio shows you what the leaks are, and for example, they affect your email address. Then you can see on which websites they have used it, and then you can change the password and delete the hacker, or send an email to the developers and say, well, my website has been hacked, or my email has been hacked. Okay, please remove or delete my account or this person. So it's very handy and it's very fast. And you have also the Insecure Web app, and this does the same thing. The other thing that it also does is monitor your websites. Are there intruders in your website? Have you been hacked? Is there something wrong with your website, with the email address, with your brand name, or something like that? So that is very handy as well. Another thing that you never ever want to do is download AnyDesk, especially not when somebody calls you from India or something like that, because there are call centers, they want to get your money, they're scammers. And what they do, they want to log you into your PayPal account and then show you that there has been something wrong. The amount is you have to refund money, but it doesn't work. So you go to Amazon and you go to the gift cards. You have to buy gift cards and give them to them. And notice that when they change something on your PayPal account or your bank account, then it's a simple trick. Once they get on your computer, now listen, guys, this one, AnyDesk, if you restart your computer, they still has access to your computer. So it's not the same as with TeamViewer. When you disconnect with TeamViewer, then there is a real disconnection, but with AnyDesk it stays on your computer. So be aware of that. And there are also a couple of other programs that do that as well. But just never ever install something when somebody asks you that on the phone or on the on an internet site or something like that. But anyway, when you see, for example, here the website from AppSumo, what they can do is the same thing with the with your bank account. So you see here now that is $19, and they can change it simply with something else. Let's say 1900s. So you can see here that now it's 1900s. So they can also do that with your computer once they have logged in. So when you refresh the page, then you will see that it says again $19, and then you can see that it's restored. But once they have logged in into your computer, then they can keep it on $1900. So be aware of that. It's yeah, they are very dangerous and very tricky. Another thing is that they also can change the they can copy a website. So when they copy a website, even the domain name will be the same, and they can do that also with a couple of tools, and I'm going to show you that later on in another tutorial, because that's an all dedicated tutorial. But just subscribe and give a like if you like these videos, and I will show you more and more. So let's go on. Now this is a website that we have installed, and the first thing that you have to do when you install a fresh new website is adding a virus scanner on your computer. I'm using virusdie.com, and don't forget to whitelist your own website, otherwise you will get blocked when you want to access it, and you want to go to the front end of the back end of the WordPress accounts. So once you have done that, the first thing that you have to do is delete immediately the hello words, because hello words, that is what all the bots are scrolling on the internet, and once they see the hello words, because everybody has the hello word when he installs a fresh new website, then they want to get they want to hack your website, or they wanna just spam you. So you have to delete it as the first thing, and when you have to delete it permanently. And once you have done that, then you have to go to the pages, and to all the pages, and then you see that you have the privacy policy page and the sample page. Delete them as well, because so that is what the bots are scrolling, because every hacker knows that that is standard on the WordPress. So delete it as well, and delete it permanently. Once you've done that, then you have to go to the settings and to the general settings, and once you have installed the HTTPS, so you have to install HTTPS in your website hosting society, or the hosting login. And once you have embedded the HTTPS, make sure that you add the S as well. So that is very important. Once you have done that, then you can, of course, go to legal security and Beagle security. What does Beagle security do? Once you have installed the website, then you have to run Beagle security, and then it will scroll your website and find if there is some vulnerability or something wrong with your files, the PHP files or something like that. And then Beagle security gives you a report. And once you have that, then you can work on that and make sure that there are no leaks on your website. So Beagle security is after you have made your website, and when you finish it, then you have to run the Beagle security app for security reasons, of course. Alright, let's go on with the emails, because the emails there are very vulnerable and they want to attack the emails. What you have to do is to make a reporter of the Dumruck reports. So you can use a tool like dumreport.com, and what does this do is that it makes certificates, and it checks if it's not a spammer or they are not using your email. So when a scammer uses your email, then it will show all the data and will show you what the scammer does and on what website and that kind of things. Now I must say that Simple Login does the same thing, but this is more advanced. And what you have to do is go to the panel of your website and then add a couple of records. Not going to discover this on this tutorial, because in this tutorial I just want to show you quick what you can do, what you actually have to do to protect yourself, your website and your clients. And once you have made a WordPress, when you've installed a WordPress, and when you're using the forms and you want to able customers to submit a form or a product or something like that, then you have to go to the settings, of course, to the SMTP. So you have to configure the SMTP. Otherwise, the chances are very high that when your customer is getting an email, then then the email will get to the spam folders. So make sure of that. Once again, I also made a tutorial about that. Actually, 2 tutorials about SMTP. Watch the tutorials. And the next thing that you have to do is going to the Google reCAPTCHA. Let's see, so global settings, and then go to the reCAPTCHA from Google. Now this, of course, I'm going to change this as well, but you have the version 2 and you have the version 3, and it's better to use version 3, but once you have installed that, then you can go to see the websites, and once they go into the form and they want to submit a form, then they must prove that they are not a robot. And of course you can embed it also in other form builders, and a lot of other tools are using that as well. And once you have made a form, then you can also use the Honey. So when you go into this form, for example, and then you can choose for the honeypot, and that will also protect your website. I can't see it right now here. Maybe you see it. I'm not seeing it, but well, you can check it out by yourself. Another tool what I'm using for the websites when you are is Hide My WordPress. Now there are a lot of security tools like iSecure that also hides the headers of your website, which is very important, of course. But the one that I'm using is Hide My WordPress Ghost. And once you have done that, then you can run the security check, and it shows you if there is something wrong. Then you can fix that, and you can also change the WordPress paths. And for example, when people are going to a particular website, let's see, then they can use a tool and they can see if it's a WordPress website. Well, let's see if we can find a WordPress website. Hmm, let's just see. So this is a WordPress website, and when you see this WordPress website, then you can see that you can show the plugins that this website uses, and also the emails, and you can see here the usernames and emails. So when they are going to this WordPress website and then they say WordPress admin, I hope that they don't have it, then you can see here, then you at least has the username, and then you can generate an automatically password generator. So that is also what you can do with this plugin, is hide the prefix of the admin area. So you can use WordPress admin, so the website, and then WordPress admin. And of course, that is also what hackers are immediately gonna search for. The other thing is to protect your login. So when you have front-end submissions or something like that, or people can subscribe, then you want to hide the login. So what you can do is use the WordPress Brigade in Dutch, and then you can use this plugin to redirect the logins to have a social login. You can hide a lot of things. So here it is light logger things, hide login. So that is for the login for when you want to allow people to log into the websites from the front end. And you have also a tool called CloudFit, for example, for spammers. So this is detecting the bots that are coming to your website, and then it will block it. Of course, what is also super important is to make a backup for your website, and you can use the WordPress VFit plugin and then make a backup, and make sure that it will run on schedule. So it will run once in a week or once a day, depends on your needs. So when something is getting wrong, then of course you can always line on the backup of your website. Now that was it in a nutshell. There are a lot of more things that can be said about security. For example, click checking. Watch the tutorial of click checking that I've made. So when they want to embed an iframe with an HTML, then they can redirect when somebody pressing on a button or something like that on your website. Then it will be redirected to, for example, a porno site or something like that, or something else on other websites. So it's very important that you secure your websites. There are a lot of more things to say about security, and well, I'm just asking if you want to subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and see you the next time. Bye.